Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I am the one and only Pac-Man here, and I am Ray the Flying Squirrel here, and I am the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here, and we are from the likes of the Mexi Toys videos once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you another new Let's Play we are doing for this channel. And this one appears to be the returning of the forms of the Simpsons games. Because you guys even remember back in the forms of in 2015 that basically both Mario and Sonic, that they both managed able to tackle through the Simpsons Road Rage back in 2015. So I can't even believe it's been about almost 7 years ago since we've last played the Simpsons type of video game in our channel. So yeah, here we are now in 2022, so this means we are about to be tackling through, most people found this to be one of their fan favorites, the Simpsons game ever. This one appears to be Buddy Forms of the Simpsons Hit and Run. So, before we talk more details about the forms of the actual gameplay, obviously the version we are playing on is of course the Nintendo GameCube version, much like the forms of the Simpsons Road Rage, except the fact that the matter is though is the fact that we are going to be capturing footage on this from the actual GameCube hardware by utilizing with the forms of the an AV to HDMI converter. So, but first off, opening cinematic time. So yeah, as you can see, as far as you see that opening cinematic scene, where basically there is a whole bunch of those wasp cameras decides to able to actually just to hover around Springfield, and it's up to you to able to actually just well, you know what I mean. So basically, as you can tell, we ended up inside the Simpsons house, of course. So of course we can able to actually get into the new game, because as far as I'm aware, we haven't played the game that much though, but we've heard several good things about this game. Because we'll get into more details about that specific stuff until in a later portion of that specific time though. So yeah, what do you guys think about the forms of how the fact that we can probably get the game started? Yeah, absolutely right. Especially noticeable about the fact that we can hopefully guarantee that we're able to actually upload this particular Let's Play of this game during the course of every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, potentially speaking, because we'll let Maxie will talk more details about that until when he goes back on to Kirby and the Forgotten Land during at some point until tomorrow. So for the time being, yeah, let's head on to the new game here and watch another cutscene here.
Hey! I'm endorsing a new cola, kids! And this one isn't poisonous to anybody!
That we know of.
New and improved Buzz Cola is made from only the finest sugars and waters. Plus, it has a special ingredient, too hot for the FDA. It'll give you the get up and go you need to do all the pathetic stuff you have to do. Try new improved Buzz Cola.
Cola. Must get Buzz Cola.
Okay, so we're about to be able to get started with the actual gameplay in terms of the Simpsons Hit and Run. Yeah, after this particular loading screen, which by the way, I really love the loading screen by the way, which basically features, I don't know what the specific character's name, but I'm gonna call it like Scratchy and stuff like that. Well, relatively speaking though, let's just disable tutorials because, well, relatively speaking, we already know how to play the game, so basically, we can able to take control of Homer from now on, but until eventually we can able to take control of other characters in the future. But let's not get ahead of ourselves at this point, Mighty, because it looks like that I'm going to be able to take control of the forms of Homer Simpson from now on, because as far as I'm aware, as you can see on this particular gameplay style, for the sake of the forms of the Simpsons Hit and Run, it's basically an open world style of gameplay, and on top of all that stuff though, think of like the kids' version of Grand Theft Auto, except the fact that there's no violence or anything else to be more specific, and no strong language on top of that. So yeah, relatively speaking though, is the fact that this is basically the Simpsons version of Grand Theft Auto, which we definitely heard about the series, to be more specifically with the forms of the most popular speedrunners out there, which appears to be by the forms of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because as far as I'm aware, is the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that was probably their fan favorite you know, Grand Theft Auto game. Oh yeah, every once in a while though, as you can see on screen, that we actually did collected those quite a few collectibles here, such as for instance with the Buzz Cola coins, which you can able to obviously spend on for certain shops and all that stuff. And also with these particular shiny blue sparkle effects, this actually represents gigs and stuff like that. And also, as you can see on screen, that since that Pac-Man has already did manage to take down one of those wasp cameras, and I think in every single levels throughout the game, basically though, they obviously contains about 20 wasp cameras in each level. So, and as you can see right there, as far as what Pac-Man is obviously taking control at this point right now, is the fact that every once in a while that we actually stumble across those little Buzz Cola boxes, as you can see. But if you couldn't tell already, he's probably not going to be able to hit these boxes for the third time, because, well, as far as I'm aware, the biggest and probably is the easiest way you can able to grind for coins in this game is the fact that rather than just try to able to smash those box crates completely, so instead you have to hit the actual boxes twice. So because of that though, you're able to actually just to spread those coins out, and then if you accidentally manage to able to kick the actual or punch the actual box for the third time, it will just destroy the box, and then there's no way you can able to actually grind for more coins. So that'll be the actual pro tip when it comes to the forms of how the fact that if you try to spend on something, like something it's pretty expensive, all that jazz. So relatively speaking though, that'll be the best advice for those you probably already noticed at this point. So obviously, because this game came out in 2003, and I think this came out on the GameCube, as well as the PlayStation 2, and Xbox, and finally the PC release. So yeah, I can't believe until when it gets to the point until about a year later, which is to be more specifically 2023, that this game will be definitely become 20 years old during that time. Well, aside from the fact that we're still on 2022 at the moment. So anyway, so a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that, first things first though, we will try our best if we're able to actually just to aim for the 100% completion, because as far as I'm aware, that like I said before, we didn't usually play this game all that much though, but the first time I've technically experienced the game was actually whenever we pop over to see, well, let's just say Miss Pac-Man, along with the actual ghosts or something like that, Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde, that basically one time they showed me play The Simpsons Hit and Run during that time, and as far as I'm aware, that you did tell me about the fact that you'd somehow grow up with it. Yeah, because as far as I'm aware, that like I said before, this appears to be one of their, most people found this to be one of their fan favorite The Simpsons game out there. Especially noticeable, it's probably one of the greatest The Simpsons game ever. So, because, you know, after the events of that miserable amount of games, such as for instance, The Simpsons skateboarding, as well as The Simpsons wrestling and stuff like that, which, relatively speaking, you probably know what the actual games is all about, what those games we've obviously talked about, they are pretty bad. Well, luckily, for the sake of the forms of 2003, that we got ourselves a very good game here. So, alongside with the forms of the 2007 video game, which is obviously the Simpsons game, on multiple platforms and stuff like that. So, yeah, you probably get the gist of it. And also, as you can tell, there are every once in a while some of these collectible cards. So, but you have to able to actually do a lot of exploration kind of thing, because as far as I'm aware, this is an open world video game and stuff like that, similar to the forms of how it does it on Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. So, yeah, you get the idea of how this is going to turn out. So, anyway, so a few things we want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 2nd of May today, in this case in 2022 today, so it looks like we've only just got about 2 more days to go until May the Force be with you, to be more specifically the Star Wars Day, which, yeah, you probably get the idea for this point, right? So Yeah, that seems totally true on that particular part itself, because either way though, we were expecting to be able to watch something related to Star Wars later on, during the course of May the 4th, but either way though, oh jeez, what are you thinking, Pac-Man? Oh, sorry, I just need to get used to it with the controls, you know?
Homie, somebody ate every dessert in the house. I need you to run to the store and pick up some of that ice cream with the miniature pies in it.
Oh, must have been one of our kids. Probably Millhouse.
Okay, so as you can tell, as far as what Pac-Man has already discovered, which appears to be the actual kind of thing about it, a tutorial mission. So in this case though, we need to able to hop onto this particular vehicle. It doesn't matter what vehicle you're going to be able to drive around on. So in this case though, we need to go into Quickie Mart. Well, Mark, I don't know what you call it. It has been a very long while since we watched The Simpsons, because the last time we watched The Simpsons was actually when we managed to able to actually go COVID positive during that part. So yeah, that might be something worth mentioning for the sake of convenience, that is. So anyway, so now we actually pop over to the forms of Quickie Mart. So in this case though, that is when Apu managed to able to actually work there. So, and of course, much like the forms of those particular boxes, we need to able to hit that particular vending machine twice. Not the third time, just because obviously it'll just break completely. So anyway, so let's talk to Apu here.
Hey, Apu, give me a cola and I need another bucket of ice cream with mini pies.
What happened to the ice cream with mini pies your wife bought this morning?
I probably ate it. I don't remember stuff too good.
So yeah, if you somehow manage to talk to Apu and then grab the actual the ice cream in the process, then you should able to complete the mission. And also every once in a while there's going to be some more gags here and there, such as for instance with that frozen person over there. And also, about the fact the matter is, though, is the fact that as far as what Pac-Man has already come across into, there's going to be some other collectibles here and there, such as for instance with the forms of those specific clothings you have to purchase. So, yeah, that might be something worth noting for the sake of the forms of how 100% completion is as far as requirements goes. So anyways, let's just go ahead and play some bit of arcade action right here, so just in case we can definitely see... Oh, that's a bit of stuttering here and there. So, mind you though, because of the fact that we had this game for such a long time, so despite it's a bit scratched up, but regardless of such though, it still plays fine enough. So because of that though, we have no idea why it just goes all stuttery all of a sudden when it comes to the forms of certain cinematics like this. But either way though, whatever, at least at the very least we can able to actually just well, activate something like this, and, well, exponentially, we can able to actually keep on exploring every once in a while. So, yeah, let's have a look at the progression here. We got 14.4% done, in this case, on the forms within the first level, so, I can't remember how many levels there are in this game, although I'm pretty sure it's more specifically that, it's basically, 7 levels each, I guess? Mind you, we haven't exactly watched that much Let's Plays on this, because mind you, that we actually played The Simpsons Road Rage, again, so just in case we can able to start from scratch again. So, yeah, as you can see, that with these coins that you can able to actually get, basically you can able to purchase some, quite an amount of stuff. Like, for example, we actually dressed up as casual outfit for Homer, which as you can tell, that he only walks around with the pants, with no, shirt, or trousers, or no shoes for that matter. So, yeah, this seems kind of pretty cool, honestly. So, in this case, we only got 3, or actually, kind of think about it, we got 2 clothings left. Yeah, because as a result, though, it's important to know that it's a good thing we did manage to able to save up for such an amount of crates that we can't afford to destroy, because obviously that it'll just make the actual grinding a little bit of a pain to deal with. But regardless of such though, that's as far as the only option we can think about it, so... Yeah, anyway, so another thing I want to explain for this point today, while Pac-Man is already going to be able to exit out the Quickie Mart. So in this case though, is the fact that one thing I totally forgot to mention, or maybe potentially that Maxi has forgotten to mention about, technically speaking, ever since in not only Mario Party 8, but also by the forms within Kirby and the Forgotten Land, is the fact that we're actually getting ourselves our next tour for Mario Kart Tour, and that's what appears to be by the forms of the Doctor Tour. And from that particular tour, what it does actually contains it might actually be pretty obvious. It will obviously contains Dr. Mario and Dr. Luigi as the cosmetic outfits on them. But also, we got ourselves the returning track from Mario Kart Wii, which appears to be buddy foams of Coconut Mall. So, yeah, after the events of, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, obviously already contained Coconut Mall from the likes of the forms of the Golden Mushroom Cup. So now that Mario Kart Tour also got the forms of Coconut Mall. So, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna be turned out to be, especially notable about the fact that, well, as far as I can gather, that the visual style might be exactly like the forms of how it does it on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe version of that. So, I'm guessing the only course it needs left now, based off from the forms of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's what appears to be Shroom Ridge, which, that might be enduring later on throughout the majority of other tours, well, despite the fact that we keep on getting a lot of worse RMGs for the sake of the forms of, bad controls in Mario Kart Tour, and also on top of that, the bad item system, and on top of that, it's just the controls in general, just managed able to screw me up again. And, also, same applies to the forms of that stupid gotcha moments here and there. Yeah, you get the idea for this point, Pac-Man, because either way though, let me tell you, whenever when Mario Kart Tour will eventually become offline, or maybe in some cases the service will be closed down, then I'll be very glad and celebrate it. Although don't get me wrong, there are some good parts here and there, like the massive character roster, as well as some very cool karts and glider parts. But aside from that, and the visuals do look very cool, don't get me wrong, and even the music, well, despite it's ripped right out of the forms of the original music counterparts, but apart from those side of things though, although it still plays like Mario Kart, but it's just the fact that it's been boggled down by the forms of bad controls, as well as some stupid gotcha moments, and also a lot of emphasis on grinding, and you know the rest. Yeah, enough about that, Jimmy Jabba, because obviously that we are playing the Simpsons game for today, so yeah, because we'll have to wait until the next tour, which is the Doctor Tour, will be up during the forms of, well, to be more specifically, in the UK anyway, that it might actually be up during exactly the same time as in the Star Wars Day. So, yeah, that might be something worth knowing for, because, you know, may the 4th be with you. In this case, may the Force be with you. So, yeah, that might be the actual, the whole entire purpose of it. So, anyway, so let's just go ahead and talk to March again, so that we can able to deal with another mission objective. So, yeah, because there's gonna be tons of missions we can able to go through. So, yeah.
Homie, Lisa left for school without her science project. Can you get it to her?
Oh, do I have to?
You can drop it off on the way to work.
And I have to go to work?
Okay, so the next mission we're going to be hop into is the fact that we need to go into the actual Springfield School. So in this case, though, is the fact that we need to grab that particular science project, which I think, kind of think about it, is actually a reference to something related to the 10th season, where basically that Milson just somehow managed to able to ruin the science project for Bart and stuff like that, while Bart was in the school bus and stuff like that. So, yeah, you probably get the idea about that specific reference here and there from any other of the Simpsons episodes. Yeah, because gotta think about it though, because relatively speaking that there are some ton of episodes out there for the Simpsons right now, including certain specials, thanks to forms of Disney Plus exclusive specials. So, yeah, you get the idea about that. And also, as you can see right there, we actually stumbled across the first race. So in this case though, we need to be the first ones to able to actually make our way to the Springfield School rather. So because of that though, if you don't make it at all, then basically you have to start that mission again. I can assure you to that. So yeah, anyway, let's just go ahead and drive around very carefully. So as you can tell, with that particular bottom right corner of the screen, as you can see, that not only do we get ourselves a map, so that it actually tells you where the specific destinations you're about to be head off to, but also, if you couldn't tell, we actually stumbled across that particular yellow gauge thingy right there. So basically though, is the fact that it might be hard to explain, because we know for the fact that it has been a very long time since we actually just managed able to last play this. So anyways, let's talk to Lisa right here. Just as soon as before we do with all that stuff though, let's activate the alarm, and also we can activate that particular thing, whatever that thing is called.
Thanks for bringing me my model of the digestive system. Hey, where's the gallbladder?
I got hungry and it was a fig.
It was modeling clay.
Oh.
By the way, Dad, Mom called. She says she needs to talk to you at home before you go to work.
Oh.
Okay, so now we've actually completed this mission, so at the very least we can now able to head back on to the Simpsons house for a brief moment's notice. So, and of course there's actually another selections of costumes such as Chosen One or Mo Wow and stuff like that, but we're probably gonna save that and join it at some point during the next video, because like we said this before, that as far as uploading schedules goes for this game, it'll probably actually have to be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from now on. So, because as far as I'm aware, it's the fact that as far as what Maxie has already said, ever since and during the course of Kirby and the Forgotten Land Let's Play, that basically that he'll probably gonna be able to do that particular later parts for Kirby and the Forgotten Land for Tuesdays and Thursdays from now on. So, because obviously he's almost done with the game, so yeah, you pretty much expect how this is going. Oh, I totally forgot that usually you start running. Yeah, because I didn't actually notice until right now, so basically I have to hold down the X button until I'm able to actually decide to run. I'm not exactly sure what button you use on other versions of this game, either on the PlayStation 2 or the Xbox version, so let me know in the comments, because, well, as far as I'm aware, the only version we do remember is the GameCube version, because, well, let's just say, because I do usually prefer the GameCube controller when it comes to comfortable factor and stuff like that, so that might be explains that much. So yeah, because as far as I'm aware, that's as far as we can able to discuss upon in terms of the forms of how this game plays out, especially because like we said before, this is basically the Simpsons version of Grand Theft Auto. So because of this though, yeah, because after all, ever since the Simpsons Road Rage is obviously based off from Crazy Taxi and stuff like that. So relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that that's all I can really say about this. Hey Mighty, you haven't spoken that much today. What's the problem, bro? Nothing really, because as far as I'm aware, that's as far as you guys already explained about this. And also on top of that, basically I found out that somebody else out there who technically managed able to play My Little Pony and Maritime Bay Adventure earlier, well, as far as I'm aware, they only got one part because they don't want to spoil that much majorly during the course of the later portion of the game's release. So because of that though, oh, I did not notice you were able to actually tell us that. So anyways though, let's just go ahead and go on top of the actual Springfield School, so that way we can able to stumble across another box crate, which obviously contains even more coins, and just in case we don't want to destroy the third time with that particular box, just in case that, you know, try to save up some coins. So yeah, anyway though, so yeah, I just did not notice about the fact that, from what I've seen the actual gameplay footage of, you know, as far as what Mighty the Armadillo has already mentioned about the fact that there is usually the new gameplay footage for, you know, My Little Pony and Maritime Bay Adventure on the PlayStation 4. And as far as I'm aware, the version they technically playing on is, of course, the PS4 version, not so much the Xbox One version or the Switch version yet. But, as far as I'm aware, because usually, relatively speaking, from what I've seen in gameplay footage, it was actually pretty alright. I mean, usually, relatively speaking, not every single portions can be perfect, though. Like, for instance, I've noticed there was actually some of those, a little bit tiny bits of issues here and there. Like, for instance, with, let's just say, bad lip syncing. So, because of that, though, yeah, that might be something worth mentioning for that particular lip syncing issues. And on top of all that stuff, though, is the fact that, from what I've noticed, I can assure you, the actual voice cast was actually, you know, based off on the forms of, you know, Tell Your Tale, as well as the forms of, Make Your Mark series, or something like that. But usually, relatively speaking, I think that's as far as I can try and able to explain about this. Oh yeah, every once in a while you will come across into the forms of that particular black and white little spots right there on the map. So this actually represents you're going to be doing some races here and there. So, but we'll save those until for later, because I think for the most part we'll try to start focusing on the forms of the story-based missions first. So technically speaking, that we actually did manage to complete the first mission in the game. Because mind you, the tutorial mission does not count because just in case you were able to get used to with the actual main mechanics of the game. And also I really love taking those shortcuts, especially noticeable you can able to skip some good chunks of those particular segments here and there. I do apologize if my commentary gets a little bit weird at times, mainly because I was trying to able to say something, but a little bit tongue twisting in the end, folks. So anyways, so let's go ahead and talk to Marge here, but first off, turn on the TV for a level gag.
Homer, go talk to Ned Flanders. He seems miffed and PO'd.
Why me? I'm the world's greatest neighbor. I even have a mug to that effect.
Okay, so it looks like we're about to go outside, and I get the strong sense of feeling that we might able to actually just need to talk to Ned Flanders. In this case, Homer's least favorite neighbor. So because of that though, because obviously he just cannot stand Nerd Flanders throughout the years. So yeah, it makes a little bit obvious sense from the show, so.
I'm all in a dither, Homer. So many of my possessions have disappeared. I called the police to find the culprit.
Culprit, eh?
My lawnmower, my cooler, my lawn chair, a family portrait, even Rod's inhaler. What kind of sick individual would take this stuff?
Oh no, I borrowed all of Flanders' stuff. Quick, think of an excuse to get out of here. Excuse me, I think I have to go shuck some corn.
Okay, so the next mission we're going to be hop into is the fact that we need to find all 6 of those Ned Flanders' items. So in this case though, we need to do that. But before we do that, we need to do with a time limit. So in this case though, if you run out of time, then basically you have to start that mission again. So yeah, that might be something worth noting for the sake of the forms of trying to find specific amount of stuff. But regardless of such though, that's as far as I can say about it. So I think we should probably take a break on school bus from now on, because the handling on that looks a bit kind of bad. But luckily though, like we said this before, that it doesn't matter what car you're going to be driving onto. So in this case though, it doesn't matter what car you're going to take. So, oh yeah, we need to talk to Barney right here. So yeah, because I get a strong sense of feeling that he might able to actually get something out of that. So in this case though, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be nothing on here. So yeah, because again, it has been a very long time since we actually looked upon this particular Let's Play, but we definitely heard some good things about it, like we said, especially noticeable every once in a while. There's going to be a tons of speedrunners out there, for the sake of the forms of this particular game, only on the PC version as far as I'm usually concerned with. So, anyway, so enough about that jibby jabber, so let's just go ahead and double check on something. So I don't think we can able to actually just get distracted on other things. Oh, screw you right there.
You remember that cooler I gave you for your birthday? Well, Flanders wants it back. Now what will I use for a toilet?
Okay, so now we actually got ourselves another Flanders' item. So in this case, though, now let's go ahead and get a chair, so we can able to actually just try to find it if we can. Oh wait, the actual arrow skirt tells us we're going in the wrong way with that particular red arrows. So it's a good thing we turned back, so just in case we can able to actually just to see if how the draw distance will show us the actual where the items are. So in this case though, now we need to find Flanders' family portrait. So yeah, kind of strange, able to actually just try to find Flanders' family portrait while this is going on. So but anyway, let's just go ahead and grab that, and now we just need to able to go on to that specific destination. So, but again, if you try to do specific amounts of missions you're going to be dealing with here, if you're about to get confused and lost, basically, luckily for you, that you would be able to actually realize that those arrows will help you out if you manage to get confused and lost on those specific missions. So, anyway, so let's head back into this particular familiar location ever since the tutorial mission, and we actually got all 6 of those items. Yeah, so basically we now need to able to meet up with Nerd Flanders again, but hopefully that particular mission objective will be completed during that time. Although every once in a while though, mind, is the fact that we have to deal with the time limit. So yeah, it seems it's pretty cool that all three of us are going to be doing this particular Let's Play for you guys. Like, you know, just have some fun doing commentating and stuff like that. Especially noticeable about the fact that, well, relatively speaking, it'll be pretty cool with that 3 trios, all that stuff. Well, forget what I just said. Anyways, let's talk to Nerd.
Flanders, look! I found your missing stuff! Now, about the reward.
Thanks, neighbor Rooney. Here's your reward. A prayer from the Lord's #1 fan. Our Father in heaven, bless this noble oaf.
Stupid Flanders getting happiness from religion.
Oh man. So anyways, now we've actually completed, I would say, the second mission, because as far as I'm aware, that's, you know, like we said this before, the tutorial mission doesn't count because obviously it does not add into your progression. So, anyways, let's go ahead and save our game quickly, because originally, we were expected to originally try to do this back in 2018, but much like, let's just say, Pokemon Snap Let's Play, we forgot to save. So because of this time, thankfully we've remembered that, so just in case we don't able to get confused on this. So, yeah, with that being said, folks, we got the endings of this point right here. So join us next time for more of Let's Play of The Simpsons Hit and Run. That is the fact that we'll do some more missions from level 1. And, yeah, that's basically how this goes, basically. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Later, fellas.